Let's get ourselves connected. Gotta get yourself connected.
Gotta get connected.
Well, the whole world is going green, and the technology industry is no exception. Our environmentalist expert, Jack Kapica, is on the line from the Globe and Mail. How you doing, Jack?
Terrific. Environmental expert, huh?
You read every day now, and I get, like, I swear to God, at least 20 press releases from all the different technology companies on how green they're going. Are we there yet, or do you think we have a long way to go?
Oh, well, so far I think we're in the earliest stages. This is where every company that does not actually produce deadly effluents like PCBs and mercury and all that other stuff that goes into some high-tech stuff are now discovering that, hey, they can sell themselves as green. So, I mean, like you, for instance, you're in the television business. How much effluent does your company produce? Nothing, right? You don't go on dumping very much of your television signals in the ground or anything like that. That'll pollute us. You know, so I mean, why don't you start pushing out press releases stating that, hey, Get Connected is now green? And I think that's where we are a lot now. Software companies, what do? They sit around and write software. The problem, of course, comes when you start selling that software to an oil company, let's say. And are you still green, or are you just saying, well, I'm green, but my customer isn't? Well, how about Get Connected? You suddenly get, let's say what you at your own TV show suddenly start selling advertising to people who are polluters. Are you then green, still green or not? I don't know. It's a very complex question. It's morals, that's why.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of consumers are complaining now about these claims, not only in Canada, but especially down in the U.S. You know, they're asking manufacturers to substantiate these claims of being green.
Yeah, it's become a flag-waving kind of thing, like patriotism. You know, it's one of those things that you can't look at directly and measure exactly when it happened. It's now becoming a popular demand, and I can understand how the industries are rather confusedly chasing after it. So, I mean, a lot of PR departments are running around saying, well, you know, it's a hot thing right now, so let's promote ourselves as being green. As somebody famous once said, it's not easy being green, but that's not for people like you and me. The problem is that, of course, a lot of technologies that we do use, such as computers, do have non-green elements in them. Phosphorus in the old CRTs, for instance. There's mercury and some heavy metals that are in our cell phones. And I still haven't quite got a handle yet on the technology that the iPhone uses. You know how it understands when the phone is tilted one way or the other, and it follows?
Yeah.
Now, I remember that there was a system like that that existed in light switches, and this is 40 years ago, which had a little capsule made of mercury. Or not made of mercury, but containing mercury with 2 electrodes in it. And when you flip the switch one way, the mercury would all fall into the capsule to one end without the connections, and then suddenly you'd have the switch, the light would go off. You flip the switch the other way, and the mercury would then flow down the other way and make a connection between the 2 wires and turn the light on. It was a very simple thing. It was the earliest form of silent switches. They don't do that anymore, of course, because I mean, tossing in even a few grams of mercury into a capsule is a bit expensive. But I mean, this kind of stuff has been around for a long time. Now, the thing is, were we aware of it at the time? Not really. But now that we're aware, things become different.
Well, it's interesting, all these manufacturers claiming that they are recycling things like computers and what have you. But, I mean, you can only recycle things to a certain extent before they do have to go into a landfill.
Yeah, and I think it's, although I'm sounding cynical about this whole thing, I do have to say that it's very good to put this kind of colossal pressure on manufacturers to stop making products that are not green. And the only way to do that is to do things like bring in Greenpeace to start rating how green the products are, and then saying, well, you suck at being green, and then that's going to be pretty bad news, because a lot of people might be listening to Greenpeace. Maybe they didn't a few years ago, but now they'll start doing so because the trend is out there. And I think this is very important and very good promise for the industry in the future. There are ways of getting around this, but, you know, I mean, people are so desperate to get their products to market as soon as possible that they're not going to take the extra time to make sure they're perfectly green.
Well, Jack, I want to thank you for your environmental expertise.
Thank you, Mike.
It's Jack Kapica from the Globe and Mail. You can check out more of his blogging and articles up at globetechnology.com.